Hello everybody and welcome to Whisky Daddy Review number 5. We're keeping it pretty casual today. It's a really crappy winter day here in South Carolina. High's only going to be 37, which for us is like 0, snow, sleet, terrible. Awful day to be outside, but a great day to be inside enjoying some Scotch whiskey. And we're going back to Scotch whiskey this time. We just finished up a mini-series of Colonel E.H. Taylor Jr. Bourbon and Rye. It was a lot of fun, but it's time to go back across the pond. And we're going to go to the Glenmorangie Distillery. We're going to be reviewing Glenmorangie Tusail. Okay? Tusail is Gaelic for origine. So what that means, the original, the start, the beginning, whatever, who knows. A lot of times these Gaelic words are just thrown on there for marketing. Glenmorangie, though, is a fantastic Highland single malt distillery. They're located up there in Ross-shire, up in the northern part of Scotland. Not the northernmost, but close to it. You get what I'm saying. And as always, I have my little bit of malt blend over here. Actually, this is just a regular blended Scotch whiskey just to get my palate up and running. I recommend that when you're doing a really good single malt whiskey, get your palate up and running with a little bit of blend. You'll enjoy those fine single malts a lot better. Glen Ellis, cheapest chips. 1 liter of that cost me about 16 bucks. Not bad at all. Okay. Glenmorangie, they have a special place in my heart. I absolutely love this distillery. As a matter of fact, my all-time favorite Scotch whiskey is made by this company right here. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. I'm going to leave that a secret, but I am going to be reviewing it pretty soon. And it's affordable and available all across the US and the UK, everywhere. You can find it. I love it. I think it's the best. This one is right up there too. The unique thing about this particular Scotch is the barley in which they use to make it with. Okay? A lot of times with the Glenmorangie, they're always talking about the types of wood they have, what type of finish they put on a particular whiskey. This one, it's all about the spirit. This Maris Otter barley that they've used to make it with. This particular barley gives you an incredible mouthfeel, a lot of creaminess, hints of chocolate. It tastes really, really good. And so the reason a lot of Scotch whiskey companies don't use it, though, is because it doesn't produce as much alcohol as other strains of barley. And so it's a little more expensive to use it because you don't get as big of a yield, you know. So Glenmorangie decided they're going to do this in a limited release. There's no age statement on this. It seems to me to be a bit young, but in this case it works because you're trying to display the spirit. You want that spirit characteristic to come through. But at the same time, they've used some incredibly good wood in the processing of this particular single malt Scotch whiskey. Alright, and as you can read right here on the label, this is non-chill filtered and it's bottled at 46% alcohol. Boom, we love that. And you can tell by that color there, no coloring added to that. These people just make exceptionally good whiskey. Okay. Now you notice I didn't add any water to this whiskey. I poured it straight in here. There's a reason for this. This whiskey hates water. At least I think it does. It does bring out a slightly more floral characteristic to it. It does bring out a little bit more softness to it, but even at 46%, I think this whiskey is plenty soft to drink, just like this. Nice and neat. Alright, on the nose. Oh, it's beautiful. Honey, marzipan, toffee, creme brulee, of course the barley sugar note, caramel, vanilla, in the tasting notes for this, it says to look for a hint of smokiness. I don't find that. I don't find the smokiness in here at all. But it's just a beautiful, dense, crisp nose with just chocolate running through it. Those hints of the creme brulee, so you have a little bit of that butterscotch characteristic to it. It smells absolutely amazing. All right, let's give it a taste. Slunge. First thing to hit you is that beautiful toffee, chocolatey marzipan, just dessert, and it just intensifies into the development. The arrival and the development are pretty much the same. Nothing really changes. It just intensifies. It gets just glorious, and then the finish it just smooths right into this long, silky smooth finish with this beautiful little bit of oak tannins. Not overly tannic, just nice soft oak tannins. You can tell this is a great barrel that they use to make this particular whiskey with. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I love this stuff. Matter of fact, this is the second bottle that I have purchased. It does retail about $100. It is a little bit expensive. Makes me a little iffy when it's $100 and there's no age statement, but I heard on good authority that this was good whiskey. I gave it a shot, and I have been pleasantly pleased with it. Now, just for the sake of doing it, I am going to add a couple drops of water with my trusty dropper here. Just a drop, 2 drops. And it will change it almost instantly. Yeah. Lilies, daisies, those really light flowers. It doesn't really change the arrival or the development much. It just softens it out. Ooh. It tastes so different on the palate than most Scotch whiskies do due to that Maris Otter barley. I think this stuff is fantastic. I was rating my whiskeys originally when I started doing these videos. I think I'm going to get away from that because I think it's a little bit subjective. A lot of it has to do with how you're feeling that day. Did you take any medication? How is your palate responding? You know, where are you at in the bottle? Does this whiskey need time to open up in the bottle, or is this a whiskey that's fantastic right from the get-go? And I feel like if I start putting too many numbers on whiskey, people are going to start judging them based off of that, and I don't want that to happen. I'm just going to tell you, this is really, really good whiskey. I do recommend it. And go out and get yourself a bottle. It was a limited release, but I've seen a ton of it still on the shelves. I think the non-age statement's kind of scaring some of the people away. Rightly so. They should put an age statement on it. I'm not going to fault them too much for that. It's a good product. Check it out. And next time that we have another Whisky Daddy review, we're going to be coming back to America, and we're going to be reviewing a rye, a very special rye, and you are going to like it. All right, guys, I'm Whisky Daddy. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.